Morning. What a glorious day. Still in April. Lovely. So,
all my friends know the low rider. The low rider is a little higher.
I'm still trying to... I haven't worked on the Rover for a couple of weeks because I've been busy with other stuff. You'll see a video coming out of me working on the BMW, doing the headliner. So that's taken a bit of time. So I'm now going to jump back on the Rover. So I'm just having a look at all these rods and cables down here. I'll bring you in a minute and show you. There's a cable down here, and I've just been having a little look, trying to familiarise myself with everything. And I've just realised the cable is for the kickdown on the gearbox because it's automatic. So the cable is for that, but the whole from the throttle pedal right up to the carburetors, it's all rod operated. So I'm going to sort of try and cobble it together. It's obviously going to need some adjustments, but I'm just trying to find a way how to connect what was originally in the car up to this early twin carb setup. It's all a bit different, but I'm sure that I can sort something. So and also I need to pop down to my mate's place who owns this car. We've still got the old engine that's in his lockup, so I want to have a look what parts are on the carburetor that I might be able to utilise in making this twin carb setup work. And yeah, I mean I have got the choke cables connected of a fashion, and I've since found out this choke cable on a twin carb doesn't come from the driver's side, it comes down from in here on the passenger side, right down here. So, and there should be a bracket that holds this. I don't know if you can see it, I'll bring in and show you. There should be a bracket that holds this part of the assembly. So I'm possibly going to have to make something up. I don't know, but I'll bring you in and show you what I'm dealing with. We'll start with the choke assembly. So this here, this is the choke cable. Single cable goes into a double cable, one for each carburetor. Then this whole assembly would normally live over here. It's very dark, you can't see, but it goes down in through the bulkhead. But might choose to keep it in the position it's in, but make it in this. And this would normally have a bracket that clamps this. So I'm going to have to make something up, possibly. I'm not 100% sure yet. But the actual, so this is the bar that connects the throttle assembly. It's a bit of an odd shape. I'm not sure if that's bent or not. But I've been having a little delve down in here. I've got this this bar, and I've just realised that if you can just see that there, just where my finger's pointing, this bar needs to go down on there, and then we've got this rod that would normally connect up to the carburetor on the single carb engine. So I have got water in the car, so I'm probably going to have to remove these two pipes here temporarily so I can gain the access I need down here. So that sun's very bright. It's difficult to see when you're filming. One thing that has turned up, because I don't know if you remember, because I never had a HT lead, and I had to join two together because of the length, because it's, you know, I couldn't move the coil over there because the wiring won't accommodate that to move it over there. So let's put this proper HT coil cable on. So yeah, I just joined two together just so I could get the engine started. So I ordered one from the guy off of eBay, Mr. Retro Leads. So I don't know if you can see that. That's just the business card. Keep hold of that. So I'm just gonna loosely put that round there. Put that on there. And then there would be a clamp somewhere, but I've got to reassemble all that. I will do that in good time. But for now, I'll just put these on. Alright, that's on. So just lay that there for now, be fine. That's all good, I'm happy with that. So, also I need to try and work out the timing on this. I've had a little look. I didn't think there was a timing mark on here, but there is. So there is a timing mark on there. I've got to find it on the flywheel, find out where the time mark is, because even though this is bolted down, even though the distributor is bolted down firmly, I don't know if that timing's correct or not. So I'm probably going to slacken the bolt off, have a look for the timing mark. Unfortunately, I do still have the old-fashioned strobe light thing, so that'll come in handy. Probably appears that I'm not getting too far on the Rover. It's been in quite a few episodes. That's just because I'm just doing little bits at a time. You know, if I'd have condensed it all into one video, it would have probably seemed like I've done quite a bit in a short time, if that makes sense. I don't know, but I'm still trying to work through different little issues. And when this car had its original engine in that was seized, my friend periodically would go and tip diesel, ATF fluid, all sorts down the bores, and of course what happened was eventually it came out through the exhaust, and it just worked its way through the exhaust system, and the exhaust system is quite contaminated with both those fluids. And when I had it running up the other day, it was really smoking quite badly. Now I'm hoping that's just the contamination in the exhaust, and ultimately it's going to need a new exhaust, because I don't think it will ever burn off, or if it will, I think it's going to take quite a while. I don't really want to upset the neighbours. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect the join that I put in temporarily that goes from the downpipe to the main exhaust system. It's blowing a bit and that anyway, it's not that brilliant, so it was only a temporary thing. Oh, really, it needs the flange welding on and fitting properly. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect that join, then we're going to run it up. It's going to be a bit noisy, but I'm going to run it up and see if I'm getting any smoke from the engine, because if the engine's smoky, then that could be another problem. But anyway, let's get it jacked up so I can just gain the access, which is quite easy, 'cause it's literally just right down there under that wheel arch. So I'm going to jack the old girl up just to disconnect that. So there's a really big heavy duty cross member under here. I could even do it without jacking it up, but I'm just going to give myself that little bit of extra room. There's no point struggling, is there? And I might have another go at that sump plug that I wasn't able to disconnect in a previous video. Yeah, I mean the exhaust pipe has got diesel in it. How long that will take to burn off, I never know. So I'm just going to give myself just enough room. Undo all that, those clamps and the flange, and let's start it up, make some noise. I'm just looking at that starter motor. It almost looks like it's resting on the side of the engine, even though it's bolted up properly. I'm just wondering if that is a source of some of the strange noises that I'm experiencing. Anyway, I think the first thing to do is have a look and see if this thing is a smoky engine. I might when it's not. So let me go and get some tools. I think I used 1/2 inch nuts and bolts. I'll just go and grab them. I'll bring you down here and you can have a look, see what I'm doing. Just hoping that you can possibly see this. This is the construction that I made here. I'm going to have a look at this starter motor as well. I'm pretty sure that's resting on the side of the block. So whether it's bolted up correctly, I'm sure it is. We'll have a look at that. Anyway, let's undo these. Doing? Can't think. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I thought that'd be the case. Let's use this for now. Just to get this one done. Okay, let's just reassemble all that. So yeah, we've got bits all over the place. Okay. Look at the end up, time lapsing this. I don't want to watch 10 minutes of me trying to get this undone. It only being a 20-minute video. That'd be really boring, wouldn't it? There we go. Again, let's just put the nuts and washers on there. It keeps it all together, doesn't it? Yeah, it's not this recommissioning. I've not got that far really. This engine has given me, I thought it's not as straightforward as I thought it was going to be. So I can't think. Oh, what's going on here? Alright. There we go. Going the wrong way here. There we go. So yeah, so a few hurdles to overcome. But I'm sure we'll get there. Anyway, what I'll do, I'll finish getting this off, and then we'll fire her up and see if she's smoky. I've just made an alarming discovery, and I'm very shocked with myself because all my years I've never made a mistake like this. So this is like an inspection plate where a grill of some sorts would go on the gearbox, and I was just inspecting the ring gear while I'm down here with the exhaust, and I discovered, let's get a bit of light on the subject if we can. So this is a torque converter here. You shouldn't be able to spin that round. The reason why you shouldn't be able to spin it round is because that torque converter should be bolted to the ring gear, which is part of the flex plate. And I'm trying to think back when we put the engine in, and that was in the little lockup where space was tight. How I overlooked it, I don't know, but there should be 3 or 4 bolts that go through the flex plate to the torque converter. So, and that means, you see it, that there is a starter motor, and it's a big old unit, and it's heavy, and it's awkward to get to. Bottom bolt's dead easy, it's the top one that's just problematic. So I'm not going to record trying to get this starter motor out, because it's going to take me probably about half an hour, and I could time lapse it, but why? So I'm going to get it out, and then I've got to find the bolts that hold. I hope there's been no damage done, because I have had the engine started. Not that I've selected gear or anything, but I'm just really annoyed with myself. So let me get my tools and I'll get this starter motor out. Right, so this is where I'm at. Starter motor's out, and there's an access hole here, and there's actually the same the other side. But the trouble is, if you can just see there, that's where the bolt goes through to hold the torque converter to the flex plate. And I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4 bolts, but as you can see, if you look at it on straight, there's no way I'm going to get a bolt in there and do it up. So my only course of action as this inspection hole to do the torque converter is I'm going to make this bigger. So by shaping this hole like the shape of an egg, if you can imagine the shape of an egg, so it allow me access to get in there and get a bolt in. That's all I can see. Let's stop this camera from moving around too much. That's all I can see, because as you turn it round you can't access anywhere else. So I'm going to do a bit of googling, but of course, you know, we've made to the 2-litre TC engine that was originally a 2-litre single carb. So what did I just say? So it was a 2-litre single carb engine on an auto box, but now it's a 2-litre twin carb engine on an auto box. There shouldn't be any differences, it should be the same. So I don't know why there's a difference, whether this plate that goes between the engine and gearbox was different, I don't know. But quite clearly, I'm going to have to cut a bit of metal out of here. That's all I can do. So that's going to be for another day, because I've been undoing and trying to access bolts. You can imagine this top one, because the length of the starter motor and other stuff in the way, and it's taken me probably a good couple of hours to get to this stage. So that's enough for me. I'm going to come back to it another day. That was a massive surprise today. You know, I only went to get the exhaust off so I could start it up, see the condition of the engine, seeing if it's smoke from the engine, which would be a big problem, or whether it's just all the crap that's in the exhaust that's, when it gets hot, just makes it appear that the engine's smoking. I don't know. And of course, found out the torque converter was turning around freely, which it shouldn't do, because it should be bolted to the flex plate, which it isn't. How I overlooked that, I've got no idea. So of course, I've taken the starter motor out, which was a challenge in itself, because it's difficult to actually access. So I've got it out, and you can't access the bolts that go in the flex plate to the torque converter. But there is two other access holes which I felt would have been to access them bolts. So I've popped them out either side. I don't know where the mismatch is on this, because you know, this, I don't know whether the 2-litre twin carb came with an auto box, whether it was an option, whether they were just manuals. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research. So my only other alternative is, like I showed just a minute ago, is to elongate that hole out to make it like egg shape sort of shape, if that makes sense. So then I can get straight in with a bolt. I don't know. Let's see what happens in the next one.